see Sanchez being guarded by Tony Mayfield, number 25, listed as number 20. Left his uniform, his jersey, in his hotel room, so he's wearing 25 instead of number 20. Now Brokenborough to Sanchez.
Start of the game, obviously the Owls come out in the zone, and Purdue comes out hard, man-to-man.
Sanchez double-teamed, entry pass, beauty, line off the glass.
McQuaid cannot cover him, as I said earlier. Lied as a freshman, his body's too big. You got to play in front of him or double down and rotate.
Temple, the number 6 seed, facing Purdue, the number 10 seed. Here's Mayfield, kicks it out to Cardinal. Now Jerron Cornell. Here's Cardinal, bumped by Barnes. And the foul is called on Lamont Barnes. John Chaney, 17th year earlier this season, won his 600th game as a coach. And Gene Cady in his 18th season as the head coach at Purdue. 6 Big Ten titles, a part of his resume. Now
Got to get Cornell offensively into this game right away. They can't take time on this turn. They got to get Cornell into the game. Hit him in the corner.
There's the pass in the corner. Cornell with a skip pass to Cardinal. Gets it outside. Look how tenacious Temple is. And there's another turnover. Sanchez. 3 on 2. Right side. Brokenborough will take the 3. In and out. Rebound. Lied. Brokenborough will take another 3. Off the mark. Rebound. Archer. And he'll take the 3. No. Brokenborough knocked out of bounds, and it will be Temple ball.
They got 3 rebounds to reset the clock 3 times, and then Purdue, the Boilers, hit the last one out for a reset clock again. They have to put some bodies on the Temple players, or otherwise they'll be in serious trouble. They can't allow this many offensive rebounds.
There's the entry pass, and Brian Cardinal goes to the floor in a custom site for Purdue, and he's got it. Now Mayfield kicks it back outside. Cornell, that's what they needed.
That's what they needed big time. He didn't score at all in their last upset against the University of Miami, and he's out of the gate fast for the 3.
Now Mayfield puts an arm on Sanchez. Ball underneath. And the call made by John Clougherty.
I think it was on Brian Cardinal. I think. I'm not sure.
You think correctly. Watch this pass from Sanchez.
Solid pass. It's the Argentina flash. Sees the opening underneath and forces it down. Nice block that time by McQuaid.
Brokenborough. 4-3 Temple. He's on the line. Turnover. And Purdue has it with a chance for its first lead.
What Purdue is going to try to do, Vern, is get down court before the Owls can set up their defense, which is the solid matchup zone. The zone's set now, so they have a problem attacking it.
Mayfield to Eldridge. Jerron Cornell has the 1 basket. Now Mayfield with the penetration and the kick out. Brokenborough is there. That one's off the mark. Cardinal tries to save it. And he called timeout as he was going out of bounds.
Yeah, I didn't think the ref would catch that. It was in the air, and he didn't give it a full sign, but he had it around his belly button, and because the ball was down there, he was given the timeout, but verbally he's a talker, and I think the ref heard him call it. Now watch this very closely. Let's see how we capture it with the great CBS camera crew. Did he see give the timeout there, and the ref was right there, and he knew it. Here's another angle. Watch the sign. Right by his belly button.
John Clougherty acknowledged the timeout called by Brian Cardinal. So the 20 taken by Gene Cady's Boilermakers. This a Purdue team that had a dismal finish to the season. They lost 5 of their last 6 ball games. Not only did they have a question about the NCAA, they weren't sure they would get an invite to the NIT.
Someone asked Cardinal, would you ever expect to get to the Sweet 16 this year? He said, fine, I expect to get there, but where would I sit?
That one knocked out of bounds. Touch last by Temple.
Here they have a shot now to get to the Elite 8 and take on the #1 team in the country by far.
Duke won against Southwest Missouri State in our first game here. And we're in the early going. Game 2, Purdue and Temple. Michigan State has advanced with a victory over Oklahoma. And Kentucky, Miami of Ohio getting ready to tip in about a half an hour.
You need quicker ball movement against the zone because the zone cannot adjust if you move the ball quickly. You don't have to move your men that quickly, just the ball.
Eldridge, touch pass. Mayfield, kicked out. Into the hands of Tony Mayfield. Off the dribble. And touch last by Temple. Time has been taken. Low scoring, not unexpected.
Used to be the harder the ball, the farther it went. Not anymore. This is the new Top Flight XL 2000. It's got titanium in the cover for explosive distance. On an average par 4, that's 10 yards longer from tee to green. Thing is, the XL 2000 has an amazing soft feel. Softness you can feel and hear. Close to the green? How about close to the pin? The all-new Top Flight XL 2000. Explosive distance, amazing soft feel. It's the best XL I've ever played.
A professional doesn't depend upon the easy way out. He depends upon his equipment. That's why professionals have been driving GMC for nearly a century. Like this GMC Jimmy with a full-length steel frame. So it has the backbone to give you comfort and support, even when the pavement doesn't.
Right now, buy a 99 Jimmy and get 2.9% APR financing.
The Jimmy looks pretty good, too. But then a true professional always knows how to dress well. Jimmy by GMC. Backbone standard.
$90,000 United employees are doing what they can to make air travel better. Rising is performance.
You can't start the day without absolutely pure Tropicana Pure Premium.
What about the moon? I'm working on it.
These two private eyes have what it takes to be heroes. Maybe it's because they learned from the best, Chuck Norris. All new Sons of Thunder, CBS Saturday.
Welcome back to the East Regional. Al McGuire, this one is going to be low scoring.
Well, if it's going to be low scoring in the 50s and low 60s, then John Chaney's Temple's Owls will win. If it gets to the high 60s, low 70s, look for the Boilers and Gene Katie's team to win.
And let's get a quick word from Armin Gatane.
Thanks, Bert. You mentioned John Chaney. He really hasn't been feeling well at all. He missed yesterday's practice, went back to the hotel with flu-like symptoms. In fact, spent the day in the hotel today just resting, not feeling well at all. Back to you.
All right, Armin. A foul called on the Temple Owls. 10th consecutive traveling. No foul, just a turnover. Temple 4-3 with the lead. 15:47 to go. From the corner, there's Cornell for three.
They got to know where Cornell is, and John Chaney be very upset. That's the second three by Cornell. He already has more points than he scored in the last ball game.
Now Mayfield picks up Sanchez. Here's Mark Archer. Guarded by Eldridge. Sanchez knocked backwards.
Lyde's body's too big underneath there. If he gets the ball, it's just a simple putback.
Foul called on Temple. Second foul called on Lamont Barnes.
Now, normally at Temple, when you pick up your second foul, he takes you out of the ball game. I'm surprised he hasn't taken Barnes out yet.
Into the corner again. Cornell double team. Ball on the floor. Cardinals on the floor as well. And this will be Temple ball. Early going in the second semifinal in the East Regional of Continental Arena. Jerron Cornell, 2 3-pointers for the Purdue Boilermakers. They come in as the 10th seed facing a Temple team that knocked off Cincinnati, the number 3 seed in Boston last week. Now Pepe Sanchez in a 6-4 game, the Argentine point guard.
What's very important here to Temple is that their starting center, Barnes, has picked up the second foul. That means he will not play again till the second half.
Basket is good for 3. Karcher gives Temple a 7-6 lead. There's Tony Mayfield. Back it comes. Greg McQuay into the corner for Cardinal. Takes the 3. Cans it. 3 threes for Purdue.
Well, Cardinal can hit the 3 from the corner or the top of the key. The angle, he doesn't bury it so well.
Karcher at the other end off the front rim. Rebound. Jerron Cornell. Here's Mayfield. Dishes back nicely to Jerron Cornell.
The way to beat Temple is to get down there before they set up their zone. Here's a fast break. The numbers are perfect. There's no possible way they can defend against it. Nice kickoff. Finished.
Foul is on Karcher, his second. That's going to send Jerron Cornell, number 22, to the line. Well, the old-fashioned three-point play. He's got 2 threes from downtown already. Rebound. Karcher for Temple. Now Sanchez picked up by Tony Mayfield. Ryan Brokenborough, one of the seniors for the Temple Owls.
Lyde and McQuay having a wrestling match underneath. Lyde's body, as I said earlier, is just too big for McQuay. If you get Lyde the ball, he's going to have a putback.
That one turned over. 11-7 in the early going. Turnovers even at 4-4. Cornell with 6 points in the early going out.
That last turnover created John Shaney to loosen his tie. Once he loosens his tie, now the next time problem comes about 5-6 minutes to take off his jacket. But the tie is now loosened. Here's a nice turnover. The numbers aren't there. Have to reset.
Karcher off the dribble. Cameron Stevens is on the floor, and he picks him up defensively. Now Lyde kicks it out to Brokenborough. Sanchez. Penetration kick out. Karcher in and out. Rebound. Lyde. He's got a strong start in this game.
Big body. Not only his size, it's the size of his body. There's a little bit of jarring inside there, which would create a technical foul or a foul each way. But Lyde ends up getting this rebound. Once he gets it in there, that's all she wrote. She's just too big for McQuay, which I said 2-3 times already. I won't say it again.
No, you can say it again.
I'm not going to say it till the second half.
You have an open forum.
Well, what's happening here is that this game can become a very, very physical game. The refs have to keep it under control.
Quincy Wadley, who was the star of last weekend's victory over Cincinnati, is on the floor. Lamont Barnes, as Al said, sits with 2 fouls. And a technical foul was called on Jerron Cornell.
And mainly now Gene Katie is going to start to blow up over there. He's very upset. And we got ourselves an early argument. There's a lot of tension on these coaches. Both these coaches, what they really want is the opportunity to go against Duke. The dream of the biggest upset. The biggest upset. The one that had the better chance, I would think, would be Temple because of their zone, and Mike Krzyzewski does not have enough time to prepare for Temple's zone.
Kevin Lyde, I don't think that's how he intended to shoot that throw.
I can't believe it. I thought the backboard should have broke.
I don't think that was plan A, Al.
Off the backboard.
Gene Katie still with a look of disbelief after the technical foul call.
Plus, it's a 2-shot foul here. Plus, they get the ball out. So you can look at here at a lot of points. If they make the foul shots, you could possibly get a 6 or 5-point run here.
Sanchez shoots one more. There goes Katie's jacket.
Katie's jacket came off first. It's not too long before John. Katie's a competitor. Anytime you play him in anything, he's a competitor. He'll rally this team.
Sanchez gets 2. The technical foul was called on Jerron Cornell, number 22, lower right.
Now what happened there is Wadley pushed his old teammate, then the action started after it.
That's set to 5 on the floor now for Temple. Sanchez, the point guard, number 4. Karcher. Here's Brokenborough, the senior.
We could possibly be looking at a 5 or 6 points this time down court. They got 3 already, and they now got nope.
A foul called on Cornell.
I think that might have been, I'm not sure. It wasn't on Eldridge. I think Eldridge was being physically aggressive. No, I was wrong.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Well, thank you.
Like I said, you have an open forum.
It's funny how a coach, that's the way you can see from here, coaches coach from the floor.
Right.
And all my life, I was 25 years a coach. I started at Dartmouth. They won't tell anybody because they're ashamed of some of the things I say. Then 7 years at Belmont Abbey College and 13 at Marquette University.
Coming up, the Midwest Regional Semifinal. That tip at 10:26, Miami of Ohio. Wally Serbiak, technical foul called on Katie.
Now we have a possibility of maybe 7 or 8 points, this time down over the 10-second line. This could be a possible record. Settle down, Gene. Don't get any more technicals. Don't get put out. Settle down, Gene, baby. Settle down, baby. John will have his moment a little bit later. John Chaney. As I said, the tie's loosened, but his jacket isn't off yet. These are two warriors. They've been around for 25, 30 years as leaders.
More than 1,000 victories between the two, in and out for Broken Bow. Katie up, urging his team on.
Now for 2 shots now. This is a 2-shot foul because it's a technical on the coach or the bench. I'm not sure. Pepe was a great soccer player down in Argentina.
And he shoots one more.
One thing about foreign players, they can shoot 3 points, and they can also shoot from the foul line. They're not much for driving. Now, how many points do I have now? Temple could score 8 points on this trip if they get a basket, a 3-pointer, or a 2-pointer, it'd be 7 points. They put them right back in the game, and they gave them a 4-point lead. I think a referee's timeout would be proper now to settle everybody down.
Well, it's been a 7-0 run with no time expired. Technical foul on Cornell, technical foul on Gene Katie. Now Karcher. A 15-11 Temple lead. Karcher drives over Cardinal. There you go.
Ooh, that ball came down wet. That ball was way up there.
6-point Temple lead. Eldridge, Tony Mayfield, as we said, wearing 25 tonight instead of number 20 because he left his jersey in his hotel room.
Get the ball to Cornell, move without the ball. They're in their zone, move without the ball, move the ball quickly, and they get a good shot. 12 on the shot clock. There it is if he wants it. Hold on.
Wadley, now Karcher.
Good decision that time by Karcher not to shoot.
17-11 with 12 to go.
I hammer it down low. Duke has gone now to a zone.
Broken barrel for 3.
Excuse me, Purdue.
22nd timeout, Boilermakers. Katie still filled with fury.
Well, watch Karcher put so much height in this because Brian Cardinal is up there in the 6'7", 8". He had to shoot over his raised arm.
A 13-0 Temple run helped in no small measure by technical fouls. One called on Jerron Cornell, the other on Gene Katie.
What happens now, good timeout by Gene Katie. Now you got to pay attention a little bit right now, Gene, the coaching. They need you right now. Get them back in the ball game. You're not down that far. You're only down 9. What you need is a score. So get the ball into the hands of the guys that can score. Cornell and Cardinal.
When was the last time you saw 13 unanswered in 3/4 of a minute? Underneath, Cardinal, strong move, got it.
Get the ball to Cardinal. He gets all these floor burns. He's the guy that really leads them indirectly with hustle. He is not a dirty player. He is a hard player.
Cardinal puts the plug in a 13-point run by Temple. Here's Sanchez. He's guarded by Mayfield. Over to Brokenborough. Cornell out on him. They look inside for Lyde. Karcher defended by Cardinal.
Nice solid movement. Got to look for the shot now. Otherwise, they'll have to put up a Hail Mary. It's down to 5.
Drive by Sanchez, the ditch.
Oh, nice ditch. Pepe was coming down the left side and seen Lyde free underneath on the right side.
Lyde perfect from the field, 4 for 4. The freshman from Washington, D.C. This one out of bounds.
What Temple does with their zone, they block your eyes so you can't pass, and they double team you.
Sanchez from Bahia Blanca, Argentina.
A Bud Light.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, my wallet.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oops, I'll get it.
How do I look? How do I look? How do I look?
Very good. I must say, I'm amazed.
I am a very stylish girl.
The new Volvo S80. My goodness.
A very stylish girl.
Good financial decisions require expertise. Life needs flexibility. Success demands leadership. If there's something you want to achieve, the principal has one word of advice. Plan ahead, get ahead. The Principal Financial Group.
Cellular One, clear across America.
Enterprise rent a car for my trip? Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. 4 dedicated doctors.
We have multiple injuries, 2 children, 3 adults.
One sick city.
I want Viagra.
And all new LA Doctors. CBS Monday.
Duke won earlier. They're in the Sunday regional final here. Temple or Purdue will advance to meet the Blue Devils. Sunday at 2:40 earlier. Strong second half for the Blue Devils. They win at 78-61. Trajan Langdon complemented his 24 points with 8 rebounds. And 21 Duke's second chance points in that game for Southwest Missouri State's 6.
Trajan wants to get to the Final Four. He's never been there, and he's a 5th-year senior. Well, obviously one of the better shooters in the country.
And Al, you said this matchup zone would give Duke as more problems than what Temple presents.
If Temple can score on the offensive end, and what happens with this zone, Duke doesn't have time to practice against it. He only got one day. Big barrier by Cornell. That's his 3rd 3.
And it cuts the margin to 6. Cornell with 11 early points now for the Boilermakers. 22-16.
Of course, they're here scouting today, the 3 assistants tonight. So is Mike Krzyzewski. But they don't know which team's going to win. So they're going to figure which team, and whatever team wins, then tomorrow they're going to take their team and teach them into breaking down the 1-3-1 matchup zone.
Is there any sleep tonight for the winning coaches?
Not for the head coaches. Ooh, Pepe, baby!
You approve?
Wow, he doesn't shoot that often.
Bueno. At the other end, Purdue answers. 24-18, under 10 to go first half. Temple knocked off Cincinnati and Boston last week. Purdue got here by virtue of a victory over Texas first, and then Miami. Wave it off, traveling.
He made a nice move down low, catcher. He did not panic, but when he gave his head and shoulder fake, he walked.
Reminder, many of you will be going down to St. Louis for the second game there. Wally Zerbiak and Miami of Ohio against Kentucky, seeded number 3 in the Midwest. That semifinal will tip at 10:26 Eastern Time. Mike Robinson is on the floor now for Purdue, number 23, his first appearance. Here's Cornell from Mayfield, and a foul underneath.
Too much hands that time, I believe, on Cornell. I'm not sure. Here we go.
Called on Robinson.
Robinson just got in the ball game. Robinson had come into Purdue with a tremendous high school reputation.
Mike Robinson, McDonald's All-American. Now here's Rasheed Brokenborough. Sanchez. And Karcher backs out. Nice defense by Cameron Stevens.
The Boilers have improved their up-tempo, their defense. Ooh, there's the dagger. Wow.
Karcher, 27-18. And Karcher has 8 points. Jerron Cornell, 3 threes already. Cameron Stevens calls for it. Sanchez goes for the steal. There's Cardinal. And Sanchez clears it.
That's the first time the Boilers from Purdue got a couple of reshots on the offensive board.
Quincy Wadley missed the Atlantic 10 tournament. Here's Karcher for 3 again.
Oh, boy, is he positive. He knows he's hot. He knows he's real hot. When a guy drops his head and he wants that 3, and he gets it.
.30-18 with 8:16 to go.
Karcher is certainly on fire. He knows he's hot. He just drops his head. The defense relaxes, and he buries. Now, about a couple of seconds later, come around, and there's the second one within a minute. From downtown, deep.
Karcher with 11 points, perfect from three-point range. He's hit all 3, and Purdue has used its 3 22nd timeouts.
And used them wisely. They're good. He's blowing his timeouts, but he has to stop Temple. Because if Temple gets ahead of you with this zone, they'll drive you crazy. Nice play.
Yes, it was, but the ball knocked away, and here's Sanchez for Temple. Brokenborough back to Karcher, and they'll go to the half-court set.
Pepe Sanchez, very few turnovers, very few. He runs the show. He is the coach on the floor. He's the guy that Coach John Chaney works the most with.
Wadley. Nice move. Oh, boy. And an offensive board for Line. Gets it back. Gets the roll.
Oh, that ball did that usual victory lap all the way around. I'm going to tell you about Line. He's only a freshman, and if his body develops and gets muscular by his senior year, and I keep telling John Chaney, don't retire, hang around, John. Basketball needs you.
John Chaney in his 17th season. Here's Lyde getting ready to go after he gets the roll.
Everything's happened perfect for him today. The last foul shot he made was off the backboard that he threw up there like a bricklayer. Let's see if he puts this one up properly. Ooh, that was a clothesline in the tenement. John's happy what he sees so far.
I think he's feeling better.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
And on the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder at the joy they had found. Then nurse spoke up, said, "Leave this one alone." She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone.
The Cadillac Escalade is born. It's good to be the Cadillac.
When you had the idea, you were just a kid. But lately you've had to buy into some pretty adult stuff. Like strategies for attracting and retaining the best employees and maximizing shareholder value. At Arthur Andersen, we help people make those kinds of decisions, which lets them concentrate on things like transforming complex three-dimensional objects into simple digital data. You know, kid stuff. Arthur Andersen, helping in ways you never imagined.
This is a school where the toughest courses are the most popular. Lectures are a joy, and no one ever cuts class. This renowned institution is the Nicholas Flick Golf School.
Can you feel that?
Yeah. Where the faculty is unparalleled.
Your elbows softer.
And the dean has 6 masters.
People might confuse you for a golfer.
When you go, bring your Visa card. Because of the Nicholas Flick Golf School, they don't take American Express.
You've done your homework.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Here I am at the University of Cincinnati, continuing to prove that everyone loves the taste of Pepsi One.
Ready? Open up. Open wide.
Good. That's good.
Drink it out of your glove. Drink it, drink it, drink it. Tell me what you think of the taste.
It's really refreshing.
It's only 1 calorie, man. I'm serious.
It's awesome, baby!
Pepsi One, a new secret formula. Makes it taste too good to be called diet.
And it is a 1 calorie drink! Woo! Woo!
This is Armin Katayan back at the Continental Airlines Arena, where the score is 33-18 Temple. I'm with Quinn Snyder, the associate coach at Duke. Quinn, your thoughts in the first half with Temple's dominance inside?
Yeah, Barnes got in foul trouble, and they went with a small lineup, and Karcher's been a real matchup problem. He's been hot, and Purdue still hasn't quite figured out the matchup yet. They switched from a 1-3-1 to looks like a 2-3. It's giving them a little trouble.
Thanks, Quinn. Back to you, Vern.
All right, Armin, thank you. Sanchez guards Mayfield. Cameron Stevens kicks it out. Mike Robinson. And Quincy Wadley guarding him.
Quinn is right in what he said, but what they mainly do, they overplay anyone that has the ball. And they create turnovers by doubling down, which just happened then.
That's 7 turnovers for Gene Katie's team.
Quinn Snyder is ready for a head coaching job.
Want to nominate him to any specific spot?
A lot of places want him. I guarantee he paid the price and he knows what he's doing. And Coach Mike has given him more and more of an open book.
Karcher, guarded by Stevens, gets, what a strong pick by Lyde on the pick and roll. And then Kevin Lyde, who is perfect from the field tonight.
Within 3 feet of the basket.
Yes, that's true.
And Stevens was on him then, but Stevens doesn't have the body to stop him. That was a nice pick and roll that time. Whoop. Here we go to the old-fashioned 1958 pick and roll. There's the move. Now watch this. Here it comes. There's the switch. There's the pick and roll. Textbook.
Kevin Lyde, 6 of 6 from the field, a 13-2 Temple run, and they're up 35-18. Carson Cunningham is on the floor for the first time. Started 10 games in the middle of the season. Transfer from Ohio State. That was off the glass.
Ooh, as I said earlier, he knows how to play the glass. He has the angles. You watch how many shots he makes them tonight will be off the glass. They got Cunningham in there. The hands are too quick by Temple. They put Cunningham in there for the 3-ball.
9 turnovers already. And a 37-18 game as we near the 6-minute mark. Here's Karcher. Off the mark, Robinson clears it. Cunningham. He's had problems with turnovers in his role as a starter. That's why his minutes have been reduced in the NCAA tournament. From the corner, Robinson for 3.
Robinson has the ability, but he still doesn't have any consistency. He's up and he's down. John was a little bit upset that time, Vern, with the way the zone didn't work. What's happened with Purdue, they've got to beat the zone down court, and they haven't been doing it.
John Chaney said, let's take a 20. The Pizza Hut Academic All-Stars recognize 1 player on each team for academic excellence. For today's game, the All-Stars are Purdue's Carson Cunningham, majoring in history, and Temple's Juan Pepe Sanchez, who is also majoring in history.
You see Cunningham's hair there?
Yes.
After they lost to Michigan, he was so upset that he had his hair cut. If you notice now, his hair is way, way short.
You want to know what he's doing for light reading on this trip?
What?
Ulysses by James Joyce.
Oh, okay.
And he's got another heavy tome, Rob Roy by Sir Walter Scott. That's just casual reading before the game.
He's out of my class. By far.
Under 5.5, 5:25 to go first half of play. Cunningham and Sanchez. Back it comes to Rasheed Brokenborough.
Constantly get the ball back to Sanchez. There's back to Pepe. He'll set it up.
Take a quick three. Lied over Cardinal. And a loose ball. Karcher for three. Sanchez goes up and grabs another offensive board.
Yeah, he'll take it out. He realized the fresh clock up there. He'll reset a half-court set offense. Get everybody in their place. Now they're spaced properly.
Left side. Brokenborough. Carson Cunningham comes out with the ball. Brokenborough from behind. Cunningham, nice strong drive. Too strong with the shot.
Just dropped his head too soon. He was waiting for the man to come at him, and he over-anticipated.
Traveling. 6 Temple turnovers. Substitution now. Rollerson getting ready to come on for the Temple Owls.
You talk about a body for a body. This guy, I think, is 290 pounds, and that's just weighing the top half. He is huge.
This front court for Temple averages 6'10", 260.
They take a lot of space inside that zone. They know how to cut the angles.
There's Rollerson on Cameron Stevens. And the board into the hands of Quincy Wadley. Now Sanchez, 37-21. 4:05 remaining first half. Winner gets Duke Sunday afternoon. There's a pick and roll with Karcher again.
You know, a 16-point lead when Temple has it, it's big because of the style they play and the eating of the clock. They eat the clock when you got the ball because it takes you time to attack the zone, and they go down. If they don't have a fast break, they dig in for about 15, 20 seconds.
Timeout call.
Mr. Kegler's class at Maxwell Middle School is measuring saguaro cacti.
Saguaros take up a lot of water during the rainy season. We're going to see if the circumference changes through the course of the year.
They're graphing their findings with Microsoft Excel.
Sometimes you get the result you expected, sometimes you don't.
These kids are learning that they can use technology to understand the world.
Science is life, actually. I don't know how to reduce it from that.
Start looking forward to the drive home. Stop commuting. Start driving. Introducing Alero. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
Whoa, very nice. Oh, no, I was talking about the pizza. Who delivered? Those toppings. It's everywhere. You mind telling me who delivered? This is a nightmare. Who delivered?
It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno, the rising crust pizza that bakes up fresh like pizzeria pizza.
Great. I'll never know.
Some of us know it will be all right, even when bad things happen, because we have someone to help see us through it.
Darn thing came out of nowhere. I just missed it.
I know. What do we do? I mean, should we just leave?
They'll be fine. Now, keep your eyes peeled. Where there's one, there's usually more.
Being in good hands is the only place to be.
When Kelly Hu walks the beat, crime fighting is a beautiful thing. All new martial law, CBS Saturday.
3:54 till the halftime break. Temple had a 13-0 run fueled by 2 technical fouls earlier in the half. Coming up at the Pennzoil half, Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg with a tournament update and a live look in at the Miami of Ohio and Kentucky game that's going on simultaneous to ours down in St. Louis.
All I know is Tubby Smith from Kentucky, he is a tournament coach. Come tournament time, whether it's at Tulsa or Georgia or at Kentucky, he just turns on his afterburners.
Set to 5 on the floor for Purdue now. Cornell, Stevens, Cardinal. Here's long-range bomb from Jerron Cornell.
That's his third, I think, from three-ball land. Fourth, excuse me, from three-ball land. Yeah, they're going to make a run sooner or later.
Largest lead was 19. Karcher measures the shot, goes inside for Rollerson, and he's fouled.
Watch how quick Cornell releases. As soon as he gets the ball, sees an opening, quick release with the left hand, all nylon. Now we got the big freshman, Rollerson. Let's see how he takes a foul shot. Oh, boy, look at the size of those shoes. They look like dry docks. look at the size of the shoes. You got to get a better angle from the side. You got to get off your heels. Hey, whoa, look at these boats. They're aircraft carriers. Woo! I'd hate first I'd hate that to pay to feed them, but I'd hate that to pay to clothe them. Let's see if he makes this one. Come on, son, make this one.
There you are.
Oh, boy, young guy.
Cunningham and Stevens. Now Sanchez picks up. There's the problem for Carson Cunningham. The turnovers. Eldridge from behind, and Sanchez gets it back.
Sanchez runs the show completely. Back to him. Set up, got a clock in his head. Got to put the ball down, just beat the 5 count. Now if he picks it up, he gets 5 more seconds.
Cornell starts to switch, but he leaves Karcher open.
That was a high pick and roll. I've never seen one set up that way, and believe me, John Chaney set it up.
Way outside. Left side to Eldridge. Cunningham, entry pass. Nice touch pass to John Allison, the freshman, who's come on, but he loses control of it.
John, you got to get upper body strength. You got to eat a lot of bananas and that type of stuff, but you can't let someone pull out of your hands like that. But you're only a freshman, you learn.
Allison, number 54 for Purdue. Rasheed Brokenborough, penetration, jump stop, up off the glass, beautiful.
Ooh, Philadelphia muffs it on your pretzel. That's right, steak and sandwich.
Excellent play by Brokenborough, and a 19-point lead. That equals the largest of the ball game.
Work yourself free, Cornell. Work yourself free.
Cunningham cans the three-pointer.
Cunningham is an unbelievable deadeye. John Chaney got a little bit upset with that one, but John Chaney is always looking for perfection. Only coached at 2 schools, Chaney State and Temple.
And in the process, 604 victories.
Look at this guy, the Temple, the coach on the floor, the clock in his head, the drop off. He'll drop it off to somebody, a penetrating clock drop. There's plenty of time in the shot clock. There's the screen up above. Here comes the drop. No, he took the shot. Bingo!
45-27 with less than 90 to go first half. Pepe has 10. Light has 14.
And the constant zone. Too aggressive that time. That will be the 5th foul on Temple. Purdue has committed 8.
Foul is on Sanchez, his first.
And don't forget, they played most of the first half without their starting center.
Lamont Barnes picked up 2 quick fouls. You saw the substitution. Chad Kirchhoff comes on, the junior guard for Gene Katie's team, replacing Cunningham. And Wadley is back in for Sanchez for John Chaney's bunch. Allison.
Allison's quick. He just has to get more strength.
Little drop step by Allison. He is fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. John Allison, 6'10", 215-pound freshman. You see the contrast with Rollerson of Temple.
I think if he makes his second foul shot, I think you'll see pressure up court. There's a quick team in there now for the Boilers.
For complete tournament coverage with live scores, stats, and more, check out Tournament Live only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online under keyword CBS Sportsline. Allison gets 2 at the line.
Good job, young guy. Only a freshman. Pressure foul shots that time. There's the pressure up court I was telling about. It's 2-1. It's 2-2-1. It's not broken yet. Now it is broken.
Wadley. Way out to Brokenborough, guarded by Kirkhoff.
You got to remember, Pepe Sanchez is not in there now, so they probably will turn this ball over. They don't have the settling influence.
Kirkhoff tenaciously guarding Brokenborough. Now they get in the hands of Karcher. Eldridge guards him, but guess what?
Coming back to the backboard. That's a slight angle. You can see the basket from there, but not the full basket.
16 points for Mark Karcher. All of this ignited by a 13-0 run in 45 seconds. 2 technical fouls, the key part of it. Called on Cornell and Katie of Purdue. Here's Eldridge.
Once Eldridge. Good hit. Good hit. Solid player. Has no weakness to his games, but no outstanding strength.
That cuts the margin to 15. Wadley guarded by Kirkhoff.
Keep it yourself, Wadley, and put the shot up. It'll be too late.
5-second count. No. End of the half. Katie's not sure about that. 47-32 at the break. Our coverage will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
This is a cool way to see the games. Stats, play-by-play, shot charts. I love technology. Tournament live, only at cbs.sportsline.com.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
It's on now, so you better be ready. Toyota's National Spring Sales Event is here with bigger-than-ever deals on Camry, the #1 selling car in America 2 years in a row. Now, just $229 a month leases a new Camry and all that comes with it. Or buy with up to $1,100 in extra value package savings. Get the deal you want now at Toyota's National Spring Sales Event. Then get ready to amaze.
And everyday people.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are your predictions for Temple?
Well, it's looking really good. The Temple Owls. Last seen performing at Carnegie Hall. Issa Jackson. Philly native and women's rights advocate, Ryan Cantoren.
Another great student.
Great point average, 3.35. Point guard average, 10.6. It's Juan Pepe Sanchez.
This is going to be a long night.
It's still early on the West Coast.
Criminal justice.
Ah, the possibilities Dodge Caravan opens up. It's a cabin in the woods, complete with heated power recliners. It's your own private ski lodge, or your workshop for building one. It's your place in the sun, complete with guest room and breezeway. Dodge Caravan, the world's most popular home away from home. Now get $1,000 cash allowance or 1.9 financing on Caravan.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Hi, once again, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to Pennzoil at the Half. Our score at halftime, the Temple Owls 47-32 leaders over Purdue. I'm joined by my partner, Clark Kellogg. This is a different Temple Owl team, much more scoring than we expect to see from the Owls.
It really has been throughout the tournament. You talk about their three-point shooting, the dominance inside of Kevin Lyde to complement the outside shooting of Sanchez and Mark Karcher. When they defend and rebound, you know that's going to happen, but when they make shots, they're really hard to handle.
All right, Clark. Meanwhile, the other game taking place now is down in St. Louis at the Midwest Regional Semifinal between Miami and Kentucky. The Wildcats off to a 13-5 lead. Let's take you there live and join Jim Nance and Billy Packer. Remember, the winner of this game takes on the Michigan State Spartans on Sunday. Let's go to Trans World Dome in St. Louis.
Kentucky's second team comes in and scores 7 unanswered. The starters have returned now for the Wildcats as the bench gives them an 8-point gap.
Well, this is their strategy, and it's been so effective. And you know who the biggest rooters were when they were in there? That first team sitting on that sidelines, just rooting those guys on. A lot of respect for them. Nobody on Kentucky's team plays more than 30 minutes a game.
Paget bounced pass. Yeah, Bradley was cutting to the hole.
Paget realizes it was a mistake that he threw the ball. Bradley really had the cut going. Can you go back to that team in '96 that was so deep? I don't think they had a starter on that team that played more than 25 minutes. So Tubby is emulating what Rick Pitino did in the year that went to the national crown.
Miami's missed its last 7 attempts.
Boy, this matchup, Evans is so tough defensively, size matchup-wise. Ryerson just can't get away from him.
Then on the shot clock, and Mestis looking for Zerbiak.
Mestis doesn't want to shoot.
Taylor, he was a scorer a year ago, and it's come up empty this year.
They need to go ahead and set some solid screens for Zerbiak to try to get Paget off him and get the jump shot going. You just look at this club and say, where are they going to score?
Allison blocked from behind by Frierson. Saturday on CBS, martial arts superstar Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall kicking the fun back into Saturday night. Martial law Saturday on CBS.
One thing you can credit Miami, the only thing keeping them in the game, they are a solid defensive ball club, but offensively tonight you can see where they just are going to struggle. They don't have a low post game, and there's great matchups by Kentucky defensively on the perimeter.
And a push off.
And there was
ball on Zerbiak.
Easy call. Wally goes out and tries to hedge on the move, but then made contact with Turner.
Miami and Kentucky's past are intertwined at a couple of occasions. Miami's first year of basketball was 1905. They were 3-3, and 2 of their wins came at the expense of Kentucky. But Kentucky's won the last 17 matchups. And Allison gets the soft roll off the front of the rim for 3.
Young man's become a great role player on this team. He can guard, he can rebound, he scores just enough that you've got to guard him.
Tough pass, Zerbiak travel.
Yep. Here we see good square up shot, nice rotation, and you can see he's going to have more scoring opportunities as his career develops, Jim. He was primarily brought in as one of those all-around athletes. Great football talent, and he's moved into the starting lineup, and it fits in there very nicely with this ball club.
Shimu with a 3-point try, and Turner in the corner saves it for Kentucky.
Kentucky, when they play well, have good perimeter shooting. In their big games, when they don't have perimeter shooting, they struggle.
Traveling call.
But tonight they're just so big and they've got so many weapons inside, they might not have to be strong on the perimeter.
Hand check against Allison. This is a 10-0 Kentucky run right now.
You know, the other thing, Jim, that Miami really, and this is what Charlie Coles really has to be careful of. There comes times when Cinderella realizes that he's up against a force that's a lot better. And at that point, kids aren't going to give up, but they sometimes accept their plight. And I think that Miami right now, although it's still very early in the game, is realizing they're just not getting off shots against this Kentucky club.
This match is Miami's biggest deficit of the tournament. Let's not forget they were down 11 to Utah in the first half.
See, there's the problem. Zerbiak did exactly what he had to do on the pick and roll to his double team, but he gives it to a guy who's not capable of scoring.
So Kentucky in command over the first half of this game. 16-5, the Wildcats in the lead. Now, earlier today at East Rutherford, New Jersey, the top seed in the East, the Duke Blue Devils, knocked off Southwest Missouri State 78-61. Duke band drumming up some support. Blue Devils didn't need much help. Watch Alan Phillips here.
They stayed close early within 6 on that nice drive by Phillips.
Hoosiers, real-life story. Duke wasn't impressed. Trajan Langdon.
He had 24, 3 of them right there. They led 39-30 at the half.
Second half, transition game, William Avery, long-range 3, and Chris Carrawell.
Passes it. There he is. Trajan Langdon again. 4 of 6 from behind the arc.
And Duke, 39 in the first half, 39 in the second half. They win at 78-61. Earlier tonight in St. Louis, the Spartans of Michigan State, 54-46 winners over the Oklahoma Sooners. Mateen Cleaves warming up. He didn't know what was awaiting him. Second half, Michigan State opened up a 7-point lead. Eduardo Nahara drives for the layup, and then a scary moment.
A very scary moment, Greg. Take a look at Nahara setting the screen. He gets the forehead of Mateen Cleaves right to his chin. He was out cold for a bit, did get up and return to action.
Later in the second half, Michigan State began to open things up, and then Andre Hudson closed the door on Oklahoma. Hudson finishes after a couple of Spartan misses. Michigan State moves on and will play the winner of the Kentucky-Miami University game. On Sunday, the Spartans win 54-46. To update you on the condition of those players, Mateen Cleaves of Michigan State is said to be all right. He will no doubt be suffering a little bit of a headache, but Eduardo Nahara has undergone x-rays. They're examining him for a possible broken jaw. There is no word as yet on his condition. I want to remind you what's coming up next on CBS Sports tomorrow. 12:30 Eastern Time. Men's Division II National Championship game from Louisville. Kentucky Wesleyan will face Metropolitan State. And then following that, the Road to the Final Four show. We'll bring you the latest news and previews of regional championship action at 3 p.m. Eastern. We will be joined by Utah head coach Rick Majerus. Then at 3:30 Eastern Time, a regional finals doubleheader. Game 1 between number 10 Gonzaga, top seed UConn at 3:40 in Phoenix. 6 p.m. Eastern Time from the South in Knoxville. 4th seed Ohio State against number 3 seed St. John's. That's coming up tomorrow. We'll get you back to the second half of the game that you're watching, Purdue against Temple. Take a look at Mark Karcher connecting from all over the court in the first half.
Pennzoil at the half has been sponsored by Pennzoil. Specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Nine years ago, Wade Pettengill started as a Jiffy Lube technician, put himself through college, and into management. He'll tell you that signature service is more than just an oil change. Wherever you live, you'll find experienced people just like Wade at your neighborhood Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube Signature Service Oil Change. Our name is on the line, and we offer Pennzoil.
Great moments in college sports make great memories and often inspires great achievement beyond the game. Come see it all at the Hall, the new NCAA Hall of Champions, a place to relive the action, savor the memories, discover what it means to be a true champion, and that might just be the greatest moment sports has ever produced. The NCAA Hall of Champions, opening in downtown Indianapolis in March 2000.
Capture this year's championship excitement for years to come by reserving your copy of the official 1999 NCAA Final Four program. The official program includes detailed information on your favorite teams, players, and coaches. Available now for only $14, you can relive this year's excitement forever without ever leaving your living room. Visit us at www.final4.net or call 1-800-313-4678. Price includes shipping and handling. Get into the action today before it's history.
I'm talking about you being able to go out and achieve what you want to be able to achieve.
The leadership qualities that the people have here just go beyond what you'd expect for college students.
It's more than just leadership in athletics. I mean, I'm sure you take leadership wherever you go.
Because when it really comes down to it, the NCAA is all about us.
Tonight, great men dress alike when Tom Hanks visits Dave. Plus, Scott Weiland and The Late Show Men on Fire. Tonight on The Late Show.
Getting ready for the second half here in East Rutherford. CBS Sports coverage of the '99 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament after this message and a word from your local station.
I found I was missing all sensation of sight. It was so dark underground, we had seen no light for days. What was visible, how there was the enemy. With the fact they were fighting against their better nature.
For those who combine a passion for living with a passion for living. The Volvo C70 convertible.
Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network. Welcome home.
Everyone takes a vacation. No wonder the tourism industry is the largest employer in the world. Introducing Temple University School of Tourism and Hospitality Management.
Whoa. This is what college basketball is all about.
Williams going to the line, and the fans are trying to distract him with Nissan's sales event offer of $2,000 cash back on the Pathfinder. But wait, Nissan is now offering $3,000. For the last 10 days of March, get an additional $1,000 back on the #1 selling import SUV in the Northeast. $3,000 cash back. Oh, my. But hurry to your Nissan dealer because supplies are limited, and this $3,000 offer ends March 31st.
Thank you for calling Star Garage Doors. Please call back during normal business hours. Bye-bye.
Give your customers the help they need whenever they need it with a self-service website by IBM.
Everyone takes a vacation. No wonder the tourism industry is the largest employer in the world. Introducing Temple University School of Tourism and Hospitality Management.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Volvo, 10-10-3-2-1, DirecTV, and by Pizza Hut.
(47-32), Temple leading by 15 points at the break. Purdue's got to wonder what's going on. They hit 8 of 10 from three-point range and find themselves down by 15 as we get set for the start of the second 20 minutes of play. Al McGuire, critical period of time during which the two technicals were fouled.
Well, the technicals, what happens is that Temple was losing 11-7, okay? They come over the 10-second stripe, and when they went back over it, they were leading 17-11. They scored 10 points in that maybe 30 seconds, which might be a record for any ball game.
Let's check in quickly with Armin Katayan.
Vern, I just spoke to Coach Katie. What he was so upset about was the fact he said basically Temple started it and they were getting called for the technicals. He said we didn't really do anything. They were the ones that started and we got hit for them. So that's why he was upset. Back to you.
All right, Armin. 15-point margin as we get underway and a whistle early.
And that might be a quick one on Barnes again. If it is, that's his third. I'm not sure.
Lamont Barnes played only 5 minutes, the star of this Temple team in the first half, because he picked up 2 quick fouls. And John Chaney is not going to make an immediate move.
No, he might make an immediate move. I don't know what his system is, but he'll probably take him out and just regroup him. You save a guy after 3 fouls. When he commits 4, you don't save him anymore.
Okay, it's not an immediate move, but it's a sudden move. He's going to make the substitution. Here's Eldridge off the mark. Chased down by Sanchez.
Let me tell you about Sanchez. In the first half, he played 19 minutes, got 10 points, 5 steals, 5 assists, all that baloney. That's not important. What he did is committed only 1 turnover. That's what John Chaney wants.
In the first game of this tournament, he played 40 minutes with no turnovers.
In the second game, he had 3 turnovers, and John Chaney says, if your mother sends you to the grocery store and you drop the groceries, you're going to get a whipping when you get home. So when you turn the ball over 3 times, I'm giving you a whipping.
Shot off the mark, rebound Purdue. Tony Mayfield. Into the hands of Eldridge. Now the entry pass to Cameron Stevens. Cornell takes the jumper, not there. Whoa, watch out. Oh, he went down hard.
Yeah, he's a big guy. As we said earlier, he's only a freshman. He wants to get up like, oh, well, he's okay. Here comes the volcano. Listen to the floor.
Ouch. Light is up.
He's up and in good condition.
Had a terrific first half offensively.
Again, here's the matchup zone. They play your eyes. You get the ball. They overplay. If they double team you, they don't allow you to pass.
Eldridge They work the perimeter left side. Mayfield comes back outside. Wadley, who's on the floor. Now Eldridge got the three.
Eldridge doesn't hit too many threes, but that was a huge one for the Boilers.
They're now 9 of 11 from three-point range.
Trying to put more pressure up court on Temple.
Quincy Wadley. Badly bruised left hand in the lane. The shot would have counted had it gone.
They're trying to keep the ball out of Sanchez's hands. They're overplaying him. Same way, if you want to beat Duke, you got to keep the ball out of William Avery's hands at any price. Any price you want to beat Duke.
Foul is called on Cornell, his second. And Wadley at the line.
What's up, one?
One more.
He was honored as the 6th man in the Atlantic League this year. Coming off the bench, he's #1 in that league.
Had 14 points in the win last weekend that got Temple this far, that victory over Cincinnati. They were up 29-18 at the half in that one. Led by 15 at the halftime break here. Cardinal. Cornell, nice dish underneath. Good defensive work by Wadley, and
Called a foul that time. I thought they called a tie-up, but it was a foul. Sanchez dunked down deep for the ball. He was a miner with his shovel.
Wadley will inbound. Winner, not timeout called, as Cornell was applying good defensive pressure on Rasheed Brokenborough.
That was put in at halftime. They're picking up man-to-man, uptight, trying to turn over Temple.
22nd timeout called by the Owls. John Chaney. Effects of the flu the last couple of days. As Armin Katayan told you earlier, he did not attend the shoot-around yesterday. Seemed to be feeling a little better today.
He's a man's man, and I know him for many, many years, and I see him about every 2 years. What I like about him, he never left the neighborhood. Now listen up to this, and he'll give me a whipping for what I'm going to say. What I like about him, he has one bathroom in his house. Now, all you people out there with big shots and so on, here's a guy that never left the neighborhood. The bus stops in front of his house in Philadelphia, and he has one bathroom. Can you imagine any of your children living with one bathroom?
Sanchez. Karcher sets the screen. Cardinal comes out on the switch. They go back. Karcher for three.
Oh, I thought that was out of his range. They do pick and rolls any place on the court.
Mark Karcher 6 points above his per-game average. He's got 19 points now. Mayfield. Up, no good. Rebound. Wadley.
Mayfield penetrated into the paint and got stung because he picked up his dribble. Played for Rufus King in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I live, by choice. Everyone thinks I'm stuck out there.
Same house yourself, right?
Yep, 36 years.
One bathroom?
No, two. Oh, that's right. Your numbers are good.
Carnell. Stevens, no, too strong. Got the putback, circles the world, and comes out.
Rides body, not only his height, but his body. He eats up so much space that anything within 3 feet with those long arms, he ends up getting the rebound.
Gene Katie's going to go back to his bench in a moment. Third foul called on Cardinal. Floor burns again. And the substitution now.
The one break that the Boilers have, there's over 16 minutes left in the ball game, and it seems like a lot. They're down 16 points, which is equivalent to any other team than Temple. With Temple, it might be equivalent to 20 points, but they can get back into this match if they can get a run going and create some turnovers, but they got to put pressure up court.
Gene Katie going deep into his bench. Here's Wadley, and he's fouled by Mike Robinson, who just replaced Cardinal in the lineup, as Cardinal picked up his third.
They did not straighten out their defensive assignment. Eldridge get caught not in the right position. Robinson tried to make up for it and foul, but the possible three-point play.
Wadley back at the line. Maynard Lewis, a freshman from Terre Haute, Indiana, is also on the floor now, number 12 for Gene Katie.
Now you can't hurry against this zone, Purdue. You got to take your patience, take time. Too quick of a shot that time.
Kevin Lyde up to get the rebound. He's got 6 rebounds to complement the number of points he scored in the ball game, which is 14.
Notice how Pepe doesn't kill his dribble. He keeps it alive.
Carter,
he's hot.
That one out of bounds off the hand of Rasheed Brokenborough. 15:48 remaining. 54-35 Owls.
We have new facts about a nationwide conspiracy. Its members are profoundly happy. They're not forced to stay, but once they join, they never want to leave. Here's their latest recruitment effort.
Now buy a DirecTV system and get free installation, plus 3 free months of programming with no long-term commitments. So hurry, sign up today.
Someday we will all be one of them. Who are these people?
DirecTV. What are you looking at?
New York, the Big Apple. Hey, you guys think you got game? You got nothing. Home of the #1 world champion. Biggest and the baddest police. Ah, you ain't got nothing. You call that a squeegee? You call that a kiss? I'm gonna be late. Get a hotel room.
Ever wonder why New Yorkers have such big mouths?
You got nothing.
Because we eat big pizza, like the big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. 16 inches of real New York pizza dripping with cheese at a very un-New York price.
$9.99. What do you think this is, Indiana?
The big New Yorker, new from Pizza Hut. It's beautiful.
Hey, batter, what do you say, batter?
Ball.
Hey, thanks for telling me about 10-10-3-2-1.
Oh, you're using it, huh?
All the time. I call my folks in Seattle, my brother in Philly.
Hey, I have people in Philly.
Stay here, I too.
I wasn't ready. Hey, did you really save much with 10-10-3-2-1? Oh, yeah.
50% on calls over 10 minutes.
Wow, half off? That's huge. Sure is.
I'll be back. 10-10-3-2-1. Who doesn't want to save 50%?
Here, kitty.
The new Silverado interior is so big, there's plenty of room for seating. And, in a pinch...
Mommy said I could ride the pony.
Ample room for sleeping. Introducing Silverado, the truck from Chevrolet.
Even though the jury said she wasn't guilty of murder, the Child Welfare Agency said she was. What's that all about? 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Here's the Pepsi game summary with 15:48 left in regulation. Look at the points in the paint, Al. 27-6.
That's what a blowout. But what really spread this game out was when they came down and scored 10 points with 1 possession. There were 2 technical fouls called. Basket, another basket, another foul. That 10 points at that particular time in the game, Temple was losing 11-7. It was all over. They were all over that 1 possession. They were leading 17-11, and ever since then they've been leading.
19-point margin right now. Here's Deron Cornell, Cameron Stevens, and Mike Robinson. And here's Maynard Lewis. Kicks it back outside. Brokenborough. There's a steal from Karcher. They'll slow it down, put it in the hands of Sanchez. That's a smart thing to do.
Automatically give it to Pepe. Here's Pepe. There's a 5 count. Now he gets another 5 count. Now he'll zip away from you and drop it down to somebody.
Touches it over to Karcher. Wadley, Kevin Lyde.
Sanchez doesn't panic. Even he just teaches whole game. He'll play the glass. I told you, he'll play the glass. It's like gravity says, it's a kiss off the glass.
12 points for Sanchez. Goes to the steal, doesn't get it. Cornell, there's Kevin Lyde. And he not only supplies a wall, then he grabs the rebound.
Purdue doesn't have any bodies out there, any real strength. It's just that these big bodies from Temple are just knocking them around.
Sanchez tries the glass again. This one brought down by Stevens.
No, he didn't want to put that one up. He had no choice. He's on his way down. Nice move by the All-American high school ball player Robinson.
Watch the steal a moment ago, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of quick hands inside. Now off they go to the races. Now this time here, Sanchez will start penetrating, then he'll kiss it. There's the kiss.
You don't do that with quite the enthusiasm that Raftery does.
Well, because it's not me.
It's his stick, right?
It's his stick, and he coached at Seton Hall. I coached at Marquette. There was a difference. He'll like that one.
Oh, will he ever? Robinson gets the first. 20-point margin. Keaton Sanders coming back on. All of this accomplished. Lamont Barnes played 5 minutes in the first half. Wadley will get a rest now. And barely a minute and a half in this half. Robinson gets one more.
Robinson's been struggling with his shot, but he had 10 points against Miami.
In and out, rebound, Keaton Sanders. Sanchez, Sanders, Karcher, Brokenborough, and Kevin Lyde for the Temple Owls. Winner gets Duke Sunday afternoon.
I think John Shaney, when he recruits, must go around with a scale to weigh the guys. This Sanders is the big guy, too, throwing picks down there.
In the low post now being contested by Jerron Cornell, right side to Brokenborough.
Cornell cannot cover Sanders down low. No way. Sanders comes up to set a pick. There's the pick, and there's the shot. Bingo! Pick and roll the old-fashioned way.
Looks like the 50s, doesn't it?
Yep, we're back on the tin backboards.
15 points for Sanchez now. Whoops. Eldridge went up in the air with nowhere to go. From behind, he misses the attempted steal, and Brokenborough puts it in.
And I said that for Temple to win, they got to score somewhere in the 50s or low 60s. We got 13 minutes left, and they got 61 points. I really know round ball, hoops, nets, with ballerinas in the sky.
Edgar and I have so much in common. It's like we were long-lost brothers.
We both have larger than average ears.
We both have pretty straight hair.
It's creepy.
And get this. We both love the taste of Miller Lite because of the choice hops. It's like we were separated at birth.
Actually, George, I think Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth.
Excuse me?
I like the smoothness.
Who are you?
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
How's Max doing?
He's doing okay. So how long before Max can play again?
Well, the vet said Max will be back to his old self in a couple of days.
Even the interior of the Chevy Blazer was designed to make you feel at ease. A little security in an insecure world. Chevy Blazer, like a rock.
You spend your days, and probably more evenings than you'd care to admit, trying to align your company's strategies with process and technology, and managing risks to your global operations. At Arthur Andersen, we can help you make those kinds of decisions. And that just might free you up enough to take care of something that's really important. Arthur Andersen, helping in ways you never imagined.
Cellular One, clear across America.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Very simple. No stress.
We'll be happy to
They arrange to pick me up free, so I don't have to ask anyone for a ride. See? No stress.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Chevy Blazer and by Miller Lite.
We are not far from the Empire State Building, just across the Hudson in New Jersey, East Rutherford, where Temple is rolling over Purdue. 61-36, 13:20 to go. Winner gets Duke Sunday afternoon.
And there's the constant zone, and there's John, the ever perfectionist. They work out in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been there. Some coaches fake it. They do it for 4 years. They work out at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Sanchez went for the steal, and the ball is off Cardinal and out of bounds. That's 15 Purdue turnovers.
Here's a solid man-to-man pressure up court, trying to create a turnover. What you want to do, I wouldn't have Sanchez take the ball out. I would try to get it to him.
Back to Sanchez.
Watch now, Burnell, spread it out.
Under 13 to go now. Temple rolling 61-36. They had a 15-point lead at the half, fueled in no small part by a 10-point possession midway through the first half of play. Technical fouls called first on Jerron Cornell, then on Gene Katie. And once that 10-zip run on one possession was over, this game decidedly in Temple's way.
Well, what happens with Temple, if they get the lead on you, they Mickey Mouse you with their zone, they're patient on their offense, and their zone gets stronger with a lead.
From way outside Eldridge, that's for three. Purdue has been uncanny from three-point range tonight, but despite that, they find themselves down. 10 of 14 from three-point.
How can you be 10 of 14 and be down 22 points? That doesn't make it possible.
Well, in part, Al, points in the paint, 27-9 in favor of these huge Temple Owls.
Yeah, with their size and their body, if anything that hurts Purdue outside of Cardinal, Brian Cardinal, they don't have any true bodies out there. They're really too thin to hammer and bang. I think that's what happened to them this year in the Big Ten.
Winner gets Duke Sunday afternoon. Duke, a convincing victor over Southwest Missouri State. You think this matchup could present Duke problems?
Yes, but I want to wait a little while before we talk about it, because it is not time. The game is, there's still a lot of time here in the game, and Purdue can make a run, because we had that run with College of Charleston that went 25-1, was unbelievable. He's been hot. He has to be. He got to be the hottest guy in the 6 or 7 games that I've done in the NCAA tournament this year.
6'5" sophomore from Baltimore. There's Mayfield. Another three-pointer for Purdue.
Mayfield's name is not on the back of his uniform because he forgot to bring his uniform, top uniform, with him today.
Normally wears number 20. He's decked out in 25 tonight. 11:22 to go. Karcher, Sanchez. Lamont Barnes, the big man for Temple, has been limited to 6.5 minutes tonight because of foul trouble. He only played 5 in the first half, picked up his 3rd foul early going in this half. Here's Karcher again. Nope. But good position on the rebound. Another board kicked outside by Keaton Sanders.
Now they got the ball in the right man's hand. He has to put it down. Another 5 count once you start your dribble. Then you get another 5 count when you pick it up. He's going to kiss the glass. He kissed the glass again.
$17 points for Sanchez. 65-42. Cardinal. They work it into the corner. A rare miss from three-point range. Offensive board. Nope. Cornell can't hang on to it. And here comes Sanchez. Nearing the midway point, second half.
Getting ready for the bell lap, which is a 10-minute mark left in the game. And now we're just about at the bell lap.
Back outside, Rasheed Brookenborough. He's guarded by Jerron Cornell.
He might get a 5 count there if he doesn't move.
Sanchez, 4-3, no. Rebound, Allen Eldridge. Mayfield. Cornell spots up for 3. Nope. And they go back with the Karcher pass.
You can bet your bottom dollar, John Shady, they'll eat clock every time down unless it's a one-on-one breakaway. Otherwise, they're eating 20 seconds every time down, and then you got to turn around and face that matchup zone, which is dynamite at this score.
There it is, a win for the ages.
The swamps of Louisiana. There's only one reason why we would bring Honda ATVs to this kind of mud, this kind of terrain, this kind of non-stop torture to see if they could get out. They're America's most popular ATVs for America's least popular places. Honda ATVs, best on Earth.
In the financial world, nothing is permanent but change. The landscape is constantly shifting. Every day, companies are downsizing, seeking the right merger, looking for acquisitions that make sense. Even deceptively simple corrections like debt restructuring can take months and demand a variety of financial products. Today, companies searching for solutions in a changing world are finding them in a place of stability and experience. Come to the financial mountain called First Union. Or if you prefer, the mountain will come to you.
Meet Chris Worth, animator. Knows good, knows evil. Knows that having a formidable partner is definitely good. Chevy S10, like a rock.
.39 left in regulation. Temple rolling 65-42. Three-point range, 11 of 16 for Purdue. And can you imagine this? What's Gene Katie thinking? They're down by 23.
Yeah, but one of the problems, when you make 11 from 16 from three-ball land, you figure to be ahead in the game, not behind. And all they got is 42 points, so they only scored 9 points, not counting those 9 3-balls.
9:35 to go in this one. And Temple holding on to a 23-point lead. Sanchez guarded by Mayfield. Now Lamont Barnes is back on the floor. Again, limited 6.5 minutes because of the 3 fouls. Shot clock expiring. And that one climbs up over the top of the backboard.
When you see the shots that Sanchez takes at certain times, that is a set system with John Shane. When the shot gets to about 8 seconds and they can't see anything developing, then his teammates try to fight for inside position off the glass. It's a good system. So a lot of times you see him take those shots, you say, what's he doing? But his teammates know he's going to let it fly from there, so they get inside position on the offensive board.
Robinson, skip pass.
One thing you can't do against Temple is rush against his zone. You got to pick it apart.
Back to Mayfield. Rodney Smith has come on. There's another Purdue turnover. That's 17 turnovers tonight.
That's because of the rushing. You got to move the ball quickly, not move your men that much. Pressure up court, but I think the physical desire right now is starting to lead Purdue. It's more token defense than really aggressive defense.
This is Rodney Smith who picks up Brokenborough. Brokenborough back to Watley. He's guarded by Robinson.
Next guy that's going to see the ball, you know who it's going to be. It's going to be my man, Pepe. Nope, he went by him.
Oh, did he ever?
I want to tell you, for a 6th man, he's a real offensive threat.
Watley gets 2, and it's a 25-point game at the 8-minute mark. We're ready to talk a little bit about Duke Temple.
First, we got to do our moving thing.
Okay.
Were you going to ask me, are we moving, or should I ask you?
Are we moving?
Take down the wallpaper, we're moving.
7:50. 67-42.
Yeah, they'll melt the clock down, and we can now get into, I believe, it's kind of soon yet, but we can now get into Duke's problems in going against Temple. And I want to say something that's going to shock the country right now.
Okay.
Of any team that Duke is going to meet, whether it be in St. Petersburg or which will happen here in Meadowlands in New Jersey, the biggest fear they're going to have is Temple. Number one reason is they don't have time tomorrow to truly prepare their team to go against this matchup zone. Now, Temple has to get out. If Temple can get out, the zone gets stronger. As you notice, once Temple gets a lead, where Temple gets in trouble, if a team gets out on them, then you can be patient and you kill them because they can't catch up to you. They can't put pressure up court because they're in the zone. You know, obviously, Duke would be favored to win, but this situation where John Chaney changes nothing, this is what he's done for the last 17, 18 years. And this is what got him here. And now it has to be Mike Krzyzewski and his staff and his ball players not to let this zone become, forget about the pink elephant, but to become a killer whale. You know, but you've got to be patient against the zone. You can't come down and take these hurry-up shots.
Purdue has called a full timeout. Might have had a double foul here. Oh, no, it's a full timeout. That's what it is. So digest what the coach is telling you. We'll be right back.
America's got gumption.
Ain't nobody crying.
The kind of can-do spirit that's in every Chevy Malibu.
Ain't nobody worried.
A car so carefully crafted, so darn tootin' tough, it can go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. Yes, sir, it's gumption on wheels. The car you knew America could build. Malibu. Genuine Chevrolet.
Oh, I'll take you there.
Mrs. Faree is teaching geometry at Maxwell Middle School.
When I get to school, I have kids actually waiting at my door.
They're making designs using Microsoft PowerPoint that they turn into mosaics on the school's picnic tables.
Everything that they learn is something they can use in real life, and then you can make it grow. And
technology is helping these kids develop the skills they will need in life.
I hope that the kids don't just say, "You were my favorite teacher." They say, "I learned something from you."
Is it me, guys? Or do we really look ridiculous?
Man, for free Bud Light, I'm doing 70s night.
Right on, brother.
Shut the door! You're letting in a draft.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hey, Craig, when I watch college basketball, I sometimes find myself attracted to Gene Katie. Is that natural? Not only is it natural, it's fun.
This is Armin Gatayan back at the Continental Airlines Arena with another member of the Duke coaching staff, David Henderson, who's been keeping a very close eye on this game. David, Coach McGuire was mentioning the matchup zone and the difficulty in a very short period of time of preparing for it. What do you do?
That's very true. We'll go back tonight and try to break down some tape and try to go over a few things, but it is very difficult because they play it so well. They've been doing it all year long. It's something they believe in. Coach Chaney's been teaching it for a long time, and they don't really give you the looks that you think you're getting. There are some shots available there, but sometimes teams tend to hesitate a little bit. We want our guys to be aggressive because sometimes you start to fall asleep with that zone, and those guys do a good job of shuffling around and closing down lanes and closing down shot opportunities, but we have to be aggressive against that zone.
Great, David. Thank you. Vern, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Armin. That one out of bounds. It'll be another turnover against Purdue. Cornell couldn't handle the errant pass. 18 turnovers now.
The other thing I want to talk a little bit about, Quinn, is that to Quinn Snyder, who spoke earlier, Temple is one of the few teams that can match up body-wise underneath inside the paint. These two freshmen, they got Rollerson and Lyde on big, wide bodies. Then you got Barnes, the center. So they got four bodies that can match up against Duke's bodies underneath. So the game's going to be decided if Duke can bury it from downtown, from deep. If they can't bury it from deep, it'll be a difficult game for Duke to win.
Wadley off the mark, short, tries to save it, tips it back. Cardinal has it now for Purdue. Lewis, right side. Rodney Smith kicks it in the corner for Jerron Cornell. 14 first half points. Nothing in the second half.
Second half, the zone has cut down Brian Cardinal completely.
Maynard Lewis, the freshman from Terre Haute, gets that one. 67-45 with 6:05 to go.
Low rush, patient, very, very patient.
Well, they'll work the clock a little bit.
Temple looks sloppy, but they're not sloppy. This is the way they play. They're a complete root canal team. They just kill you. I mean, you go to the dentist, you open your mouth, and they just drain you.
Here's Lewis for Purdue. Puts it up and in.
Nice back-to-back baskets by Lewis. Down to 20 points, and the clock is ticking, and John Chaney will melt the clock. John's a coach that all he wants to do is win. You can do no better than win and no worse than lose. So the clock becomes the enemy for Temple to use up. Purdue has to just accept it.
Sanchez passes on the shot. Wadley takes it, cans it for three.
Wadley cannot be this good. It's impossible. Temple doesn't shoot this well. It's absolutely impossible.
Wadley with 9 off the bench, had 14, as we said, in the win against Cincinnati. Way outside, Cornell can't get this to fall. Sanchez takes it away from Cameron Stevens.
There's no quickness in Sanchez. Pepe just kind of takes it easy. He's steady. He's steady, very steady. Like John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood, used to say, don't be fast, be quick. Just be patient. When it gets that one chance, then be quick.
Now it's in the hands of Brokenborough.
Barnes is anxious to score. That's probably his first score of the game. He sat on the bench for most of the game because John Chaney's discipline. If you commit 2 fouls in the first half, you sit on the bench. Now he got an angle here on the right side, penetrates nice, keeps his head up, and finishes.
Lamont Barnes will go to the free throw line after his first basket of the night. 63% free throw shooter for the season. And he's now got 3 on the evening. 72-47, 4:20 to go.
They're playing angles constantly inside the zone. Very rarely. That's one of the few cupcakes that will give him. Maybe they got 2 cupcakes in the whole game. A cupcake against the zone is when you get it to a man down low for a dunk.
When did you decide that was a cupcake?
A cupcake? Well, a piece of cake. You know, it's easy. It's simple. It's like playing the Sisters of the Poor. They've been up all night.
3:45 to go. Brokenborough, Sanchez guarded by Lewis. Wadley, pass underneath. Sanders, tipped back by Allison, and Barnes.
He couldn't get the handle. He wanted to get that score. He just did a nice word.
Yes, he did.
He wanted to get that score so bad that he couldn't get the handle on the ball. There wasn't anybody within 8 feet of him. maybe Sunday night, Barnes, or Sunday afternoon.
Temple and Duke.
Big-time game. Vern, I'm telling you now, that could be a big-time game. And I'm not trying to hook audience.
Right. Duke won earlier tonight. Had a struggle against Southwest Missouri State in the first half, but they established their dominance in the second.
Without a doubt, they're the better team. Without a doubt. The only thing I feel, if they end up winning the championship, the only thing I feel is that the Cincinnati loss is like a black mark on them only because they can't be rated one of the best teams in the country ever. The only way you can be rated one of the best teams in the country ever, Vern, is you got to go through undefeated.
Foul called. who would you pick as the all-time best?
The all-time best team I thought was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in his senior year. The second best, I thought, these are all undefeated teams, was Bill Russell and Casey Jones in their junior year. And the third team would have been Bobby Knight's team in 1976 that were undefeated.
Allison misses the first. Now let's check out the CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Points off turnovers, 34-14, 20-point edge for the Temple Owls. For complete tournament coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com. Now the Boilermakers losers of 5 of their last 6, including an overtime loss to Michigan in the Big Ten tournament. They came on 1-2 in the NCAAs, got to the Sweet 16 for the second year in a row by defeating Texas and then knocking off second-seeded Miami last week. But the season will come to a close for Gene Cady and the Boilermakers 21-13.
Let me tell you something about John Cady. In the Big Ten against Bobby Knight, where they play each year twice, John Cady has 20 wins.
Excuse me.
Gene Cady has 20 wins, and Coach Bobby Knight has 19. But Gene doesn't get any credit for whatever reason.
Yeah, that is an amazing statistic.
I guess one of the best coaches in the country.
Loose ball. Taken away by Brookenborough. Come out, work the clock a little more.
Yeah, they'll just melt it down. Aggravate you. You better put the ball down. You get a 5-pound, Pepe. No one's close enough to him. Well, congratulations to John Chaney. Job well done. I hope the flu goes away.
This will help.
Look, there he goes again. Got himself a basket again. That gives him 4 points for the game.
75-50, a 25-point margin underneath to Allison off the glass and in. The feed from Cardinal. Now Sanchez, Brookenborough, Sanders, Barnes, and Rollerson. They'll work on the clock, which is now under 90 seconds. Maynard Lewis guarding Sanchez. Jumper, Barnes, yep.
He's got 3 quick baskets. He wants to get into the scoring column.
Cornell into the corner for Cardinal. Back outside, Lewis. Smith. Allison taken away by the Temple Owls. Under a minute to go. Temple Duke. Eastern Regional Final. Sunday from East Rutherford.
Come join us and enjoy Duke. One of the better teams ever.
10 seconds on the shot clock. John Chaney's Temple Owls go to 24-10 for the season. Offensive board into the corner, Brookenborough. Rollerson, as Cardinal took the charge, and should be given a little credit for that one.
For taking that charge, Cardinal should end up getting 4 foul shots, not only a 1-and-1.
A 1 against a 6 Sunday at 2:40 Eastern Time. Duke, winners of 30 in a row, 1 defeat this season. John Chaney's team now has won 24, and they advance to the Elite 8. Smith. Allison. Smith will try. No, he won't try it again. Cunningham will. That's for 3. Well, Purdue for the game hits 13 of 20 from 3-point range, and they wind up losing 77-55. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game: Jerron Cornell, 14 first-half points, and Mark Karcher from Temple, 21 points and 4 rebounds. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. That's a Chevrolet tradition for 28 years. 77-55, Temple Duke coming up Sunday right now. We go back to New York. Here's Greg Gumbel.
All right, Burns. So the Purdue Boilermakers, a valiant effort, but they fall short. The Temple Owls live to fight another day. They meet the Blue Devils on Sunday. Let's take you now to St. Louis. Midwest Regional Semifinal going on there. Kentucky Wildcats